doesn't seem that easy, they'll go a long way to giving themselves a chance.
Okay, well, let's ask someone who probably maybe agree with you and probably disagree with you. That's Christian Welch. Christian, great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. Now, first up, I want to ask, there's been a fair bit of banter about the fact that the Melbourne Storm would have been watching that match and just loving every second of how physical and brutal it was. Is there any truth to that?
No truth at all. It was really unfortunate. It was such a physical, tough encounter, and they were flying into each other. So, it was really terrible to see last night.
So, when you say see last night, did you watch it as a group or individually? What did you do during this game?
We got together. There was probably about 15 of us in the team room, and we watched it. It was such a great game of footy. It was probably the best game of the year, I think, and it could have gone either way, but there was two phenomenal sides just going toe to toe like a heavyweight matchup. So it was great to be on the couch watching that one last night.
You say you sort of you watched the game and talking about how physical it was. Do you feel though that when you're playing those games, and I feel Melbourne do this better than anyone, is you get conditioned to play like that? Do you find that could be a danger?
Look, I just think it's going to just be heavy contact. It's going to be a physical contest, particularly in the middle of the field. You look at that Penrith forward pack and the addition of Pangai. They're going to bring a lot of physicality, and we've got to be up for it, and we've got to start the game well because going down to Penrith, and if they're getting up and Nathan Cleary's kicking you to death, and your back three are picking the ball up 5 metres from their try line every time he kicks the ball, it's a pretty tough game to win. So it's really important we get off to a good start.
Now, Christian, we've spoken about how vital front rowers are, or middle forwards, to be able to control that area and then provide some really good time and opportunity for people to play off the back of. When you bring on someone like Harry Grant and keep Brandon Smith in there, it just adds another dynamic to your side, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we've been pretty blessed, especially with the new rules and the way the game's going. It's Cameron Smith's strength was the game management and the old head of steering us around, and probably the new speed of the game's really suited our two new hookers. And to have Harry Grant come on as a state of origin hooker and add a bit of spark, and then Brandon go into that lock role, it's really good to have as a team. We've got really good depth, and obviously Nelson and Tui and Nico Hines on the bench. So I just think we've got really good depth in the club as a whole, and hopefully we can use that as a strength for the prelim.
At this time of year, under Craig Bellamy, Christian, what does a week off look like? If you had a heavy week and you start to taper, or did you have a light week and you'll build up that, or is that completely off the mark on both fronts?
He used to towel us up a fair bit, but I think he's pulled it back a bit in the last few years. So, we had a bit of a hit out on Friday, and then had a couple of days off and did a bit of weight. Did a bit of weights today. So, having the week off's a good thing, but as the famous Chinese proverb, talk doesn't cook rice. So, we've obviously got a work cut out for us come Saturday night in Brisbane.
What was that?
Best Chinese proverb on the Sunday Footy Show. That's brilliant.
It's not the best Chinese proverb.
Oh, that's pretty good.
We're going bilingual
I didn't
here.
say it wasn't good. It's just
We are going bilingual. It's going to be great. Now, Christian, I asked Nathan Cleary this question a little bit earlier on the show, and it was, what excites you most about coming up against a team like the Penrith Panthers? What is the biggest thing that is going to be your focus? What gets you jazzed for this clash?
Ooh. Well, what did Nathan say?
He said it was basically coming up against the best.
like bashing you.
Coming up against the best.
Big front
was
rows
the biggest test and the biggest challenge for
Really
you.
well done hairdos, that's what he said.
It was not a Chinese proverb either. It was not a Chinese proverb.
Pick your game up, Cleary, mate. He's slipping, I'm telling you. They've probably been the best team last 2 years, and we've had a couple of good hit-outs, and obviously the grand final last year. So it's going to be one hell of a game, and as a purebred front rower who doesn't go too far from the post, it's just going to be a really good physical contest through the middle. Our pack against theirs, and I can't wait.
Christian, we saw a Craig Bellamy master plan to bring apart Tommy Turbo. It was fairly effective when you played. Is the target Nathan Cleary for this week?
Well, he's a bit of a different position, but I suppose we train really hard during the week. We the guys who aren't in the NRL 17 do a really good job at replicating the tendencies of Tom Turbo and the Manly attack, and it really worked for us. So that'll be a focus this week to see how Manly like to attack and play their footy, and obviously Nathan's the focal point of that Penrith side.
The RLPA Awards, as we move a slightly different area, the Dennis Tutty Award is an incredibly important award, and it's one that recognises a player who's an advocate for other players, maybe players who don't get the same rights as you, including the women's game. You've been incredibly vocal. You've won this award, which is absolutely incredible. What does it mean to you to be recognised by your peers for this kind of work off the field?
Yeah, I think it's a big honour, and obviously Tutty, the work he did and the sacrifice he made for his own individual career. I'd encourage everyone watching the show to go watch that documentary RLPA funded on Dennis. He's an incredible guy, and modern players, we've got a lot to be grateful for all the work he's done. But yeah, I suppose it's a big honour to get the award this year, and obviously there's a few issues in our game, particularly how the women's game's been treated of late. It's been a bit disappointing, but it's great to see that payment come through, and hopefully the NRL starts taking the women's game seriously and investing in that side of the game.
Hey, congratulations on that. Congratulations on your season so far. Good luck next week. I just want to leave by asking, are you confident your rice is cooked?
Oh,
Not your goose.
I hope so. We've still got a week to go. Yeah.
You can get those microwave cups that you just put in.
Curry. Let's go.
Take 30 seconds. They can do
We
it
have
just
taken
before
a
the
real
game.
left turn
Thank you
here.
very much, Christian. We really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Good luck, mate.
Best of luck next weekend. Okay, stay with us. There's still plenty more to come here on the Sunday Footy Show. As there always is, we are chatting man.